Hi everyone, welcome back to Expansion Scapes. And in this video, my friend Dariusz and me are going to share our experiences of connecting to, working with, exploring the air element. And we did it through different ways, like Dariusz with high magic and rituals and things. And me, I'm doing it psychically, shamanically, talking to the soul world and things like that. So, yeah, I'm going to share first. And if you're interested in more elements, you can check out the link below. It's going to have all the elements. So, yeah, my question again for this element was the same as for all of the elements, which is how am I created with the air element and how do I create with the air element? I'm just really interested in how the world functions. That's just the thing, and how I function, and how do we function together? I guess like relationships. And also I wanted the guidance. What can I do that's not necessarily the jack of all trades, but more like a focused thing that really, really burns with fire. And the fire element is next. So, oops, fire is coming in.
As soon as you said that, like I saw the fire coming on your face. That's so funny. But that's next.
Okay, not fire yet. No. Yeah.
Wait.
Yeah. So since I'm hanging out with you, Dariusz, sorry. Yeah. I hope you're feeling better. Okay. More physical stuff is happening for me. It's like rubbing off on me. Because the first thing that happened with the air element was that I really needed to clean my house, which already started during intentions. I just really, really dusted the whole house. I really vacuumed it, and everything was open, doors, windows, everything was open. And as I was doing that, as my house was becoming clean, and the theme clean house was throughout the 2 weeks. Clean house in all kinds of ways. Clean house within, clean house without. So I was, I'm just referring to my notebook, which is why I keep looking to the side. So as I was cleaning the house without, what was happening within was a lot of things were leaving, like an epic movement or something of stuff leaving. Like a lot of guilt was leaving. Even though I did a lot of shamanic healing, like for years now, I still accumulate guilt. I mean, there's no way I can say, oh, I'm a perfect enlightened saint now. So
what?
So yeah, I had this issue of like accumulating guilt over stuff that I think I should do but didn't do, and it was just like lying on my shoulders, and it's just like a lot of stuff was leaving that was really not mine, or something that was referred to other people, like feeling guilty that I didn't do enough for this person or for that person. So a lot of guilt was leaving, and I had this experience of like non-tolerance for anything in me that is not making me feel airy and breezy and clean inside. Anything that would be in there, it would just be so annoying. They would like kicked out by my system. Just, hey, you don't belong. Bye-bye. Which is really cool. And, which actually talks about limits and boundaries. And we talked about this. It was so interesting for me that the air element, which had to do a lot with movement, freedom. This was also freedom, actually, stuff that's leaving. It was stuff that was making me feel not free. So stuff was leaving, making me feel more free and allowing movement to actually, that was movement. But I'm going to get to like the non-movement later. And like all of the freedom and movement also talked a lot about boundaries. like, look, this is allowed inside, this is not allowed inside. And this almost, I would say, duality or dichotomy or dynamics of movement versus stationary. Because how do you know something's moving if you don't know what is stationary? That's how I felt. And then later, while I was meditating with this element, a lot had to do with sacred space, which is that emptiness that I created within me that was absolutely empty. It had to be empty. And I create sacred space every time I have sessions or anything kind of like for various reasons. But this time I really, really felt a much deeper understanding of sacred space, where it felt like a temple, like I am a temple, and whatever's inside is sacred. Like the meaning of sacredness changed for me, because it was almost becoming the same as empty and clean. And it was like, if I'm going to clean myself up, I'm going to realize that I have something sacred within me in this empty space. Or just like when you go to any temple of any religion or any kind of spiritual practices, if you've ever gone to a temple and stood in the middle of the temple, you probably felt some kind of holiness, some kind of sacredness. And it doesn't matter which religion really the temple belongs to, but there's a feeling of that holiness and sacredness. And I was shown that we have that within us. Yeah.
Because of the space.
Yes, something in the air. And I was shown that we can have this within us if we clean ourselves up from all the stuff that's not mine.
And within our homes as well. Yeah.
Yes, and home.
Like we don't find God in like any brick, but like we find it anywhere. So again, like wherever, like your house could be like the best temple, like, or like for you and stuff like that. So yeah, so that, it makes perfect sense. And the body as well. The body is a temple also. So
yeah. I also understood something about communication. Like as I was standing in the sacred space later on, I actually was asking the air element, hey, what's next? You know, okay, I feel like, okay, let's get the sacred space going as much as possible. I feel like I've let a lot of stuff go, at least for these 2 weeks. Let's check out what happens next. And I'm sitting there in this kind of temple-looking thing of mine. And I start to realize that, there is like a warm golden fire, not a fire, but a liquidy light of sorts coming from my center of my being, which I could say like is below the chest, the yellow, I forget the chakra now, sacral
plexus.
The solar plexus chakra. Around that area, there was a golden liquid light coming, and it was like just growing and growing and not burning, but also it felt like warm and fiery, but not like fiery, but warm, like that divine light of golden light. And I was realizing that, if you create silence and space, you can finally hear yourself. You can finally see yourself. You can finally hear yourself. And that was me coming up to be heard and seen. And it's like, it's time, I am welcome here like this. I am welcome. I am expected. I am valued here. And I was just sitting in this golden thing, swimming. And that was really amazing. I was like, that's why we created the emptiness. Because after that, I felt like this was the birth of a new movement, of something that's going to explode. I didn't let it explode yet because I was just sitting in it. And it's not like everything is so quick, but I just appreciated how there are steps And and the next thing would be a movement, and which also showed me a concept, the breath of life, which is kind of like when we breathe, we stop, right? Like we have some kind of, I would say, sacred space in here that's clean, and then we breathe out. And I felt like it's like two balls or something. And first the air goes there, air goes there. Anyway, visually it can be different. But I felt like this is the breath of life, of constantly moving. So if you're in a state of non-movement, stationary, sacred space, you create the space for like your own divinity to come up. Mm-hmm. And whatever comes next is going to be in the next adventure, which is going to be like the new desire to be explored or the new question to be explored. And wherever it's going to go there, it's going to have an adventure, and then it's going to come back, which is like a breathing out or breathing in. I don't know. I think it doesn't matter. But like whoever went out there, whatever you did outside, like the hero's journey, I like the saying I was sharing with you. The true hero always comes back home. Mm-hmm. So it's like the breath of the real hero always comes back home. And when it's home again, I was feeling like this, again, sacred understanding of home, how different parts of you, perhaps, or even different souls of our collective human and non-human consciousness, whatever, we all go to our own little adventures and we all come back home to that divinity, which is the one. And I saw it as a house, and inside was a golden light. Sorry for my cat going crazy. Yeah. If you can hear it. And I felt like it was just like the warmest family sharing all of their experiences of the day. Sharing. And that was nighttime. And I felt like everything was connected, that during daytime, they will all go out and leave the house like a breath out or breath in. You can see it in both ways. And then the breath is going to come back again, and you're going to share everything, and everything's going to grow like an expansion of everyone sharing their perspectives. And another way I saw this perspectives was like a bunch of clouds, and there was light going from the sky, like from the sun. And the clouds were kind of adjusting the light, and I heard the prism of the divine. And then the light was going down, but it was slightly changed, going to earth. Mm-hmm. So this can be talked about like for a long time, I guess. But I felt like one of the things you can kind of perceive it as is the clouds are like the consciousness. And the interesting thing is that we get the one or divine light coming here, and we form a prism for the divine light. And through our consciousness, through our perspective, our unique perspective, our own kind of divine light within, we kind of bend the light a bit and we shine it forward. And then it's not only us here, but it's a lot of consciousnesses, and we all bend the light, and we all shine it kind of again on earth. And here we are all together, kind of sharing our perspectives, we are all different, and we're having this great adventure within. You can call it home, maybe, or not. Again, it doesn't even matter which one is home, which one is not, because it's like two balls and we're constantly jumping from one to another. Like, oh, now we're on Earth and we all have our different perspectives and we're having these adventures. And then the breath out, going back to one, like divinity, and having another perspective of this oneness. I feel like my words are not expressing everything I want to, but in any case, I guess it maybe
it sounds interesting. I just wanted to add on top of what you shared, with that light coming in and like that brings in different colors of our personality and stuff like that. I think that's a really cool concept. Additionally, I just wanted to make a connection there as, like how we've got like each chakra centers and they're like each different colors and stuff like that. Again, if you take the rainbow, which has the exact same colors, and it's on the spectrum. That's what creates the rainbow. So, and it's same for that light for us and stuff like that. So, like we get to again, like through our own prism, light comes in through our own prism, which then shines onto whatever we do with that energy. So I just point that out as well.
Yeah, exactly. And then we're all here, we're all swimming in these different prismed lights of ours and interacting as different beings, even though it's just all one divine light. Okay, and the last thing I'm going to mention is the emotions. I felt that was so important because, like, I have a lot of stuff on emotions. Like with water element, I was talking about how we feel the emotions thanks to like the water element. But here I was shown emotions again in this kind of shape like this, where an emotion kind of blooms, grows, and then wilts away naturally. And I was shown that
video already.
Yeah, and with the air element. It's like the air element helps you to feel free enough to actually travel that.
That's cool. That's cool. So it gives you freedom to be able to express those, to be able to feel those emotions, basically.
Yeah, to live them, to experience them, because a lot of times we get stuck, right? And we don't want to experience them for fear or whatever we have going on. But the air element is the one that helps us to actually feel free and alive enough to go and say, you know what, I'm going to feel that emotion.
Of course.
Yeah. So, and I feel like I've seen you a little bit because I saw like a hat with wings here, like a Hermes helmet.
Carry on.
And I was feeling like a hello from you because you said you were going to work with Hermes. And I was like, okay, I feel like it's a hello from kind of Dariusz and Hermes. They're like, hey, we're also doing this stuff. Oh, okay, yeah. Cool. Yeah.
Hermes is strong with this one. Very strong.
Yeah. So, if you guys want more detailed information, it's going to be in my book on the 5 elements.
Read about the air element. I'm sure it's going to be amazing. So yeah, Olga, again, in case you don't know, Olga's writing a book about all 5 elements. So again, once it's available, I'm sure you'll be able to check it out somewhere. It's going to be available somewhere here in the air.
In the space-time continuum, yeah.
Yeah, in the space-time continuum, yeah. So yeah.
So what about you, Dariusz? Sorry, you're still not well.
Yeah, I just wanted to add, because you mentioned cleaning and stuff like that, and I've also started my journey with cleaning and getting the space running. Basically, I don't even remember what I did, but I remember I've moved a lot of things and things kind of like changed slightly where I put things, and I threw a lot of stuff away as well, a lot of stagnant energy. I think I gave some away as well. Anyways. So yeah. So when working with the air element, I worked with the following deities primarily, although there were some other ones as well. Let me take that off. I've worked with Zeus, who's been quite strongly, especially at the beginning, not so much later on. Archangel Raphael was responsible for the air. I've got him. 1 second.
Oh.
That bad boy?
Yeah. Okay. With a feather.
Of course. Special feather. I've been working with Hermes, as we've mentioned earlier. And Hermes has been quite strongly, I've been quite strongly influenced by him in a good way. Horus as well. which is the Egyptian god, the flying one, who's been resurrected and stuff. But I also work with full set of archangels as well, as they're all like have wings and stuff, to get certain blessings. And I've also been charging I've been using this energy to invoke things, like mainly just for energy to guide me, really. Because I've already set my mind on what I'm going to be doing and stuff. So again, I know what I'm doing. So now just let the energy guide me, because I know what I'm doing. I know what I need to focus on. Let the energy do its job. And I've also been charging my shoes, because I do have specific pair of shoes, which I call the Hermes shoes. Because previously when I was doing this, I've also worked with Hermes' energy. And when I did that, I was actually drawn to buy these shoes because they were like white, and they had like slightly on the like, I don't know what you call this thing, the tongue, the shoe. They had like little, looks like kind of like wings, and they're all white. And I was like, I'm getting those. They're quite expensive, but I love them so much. So I've been charging those shoes with that energy again.
And you got 2 gigantic wings on your back, tattooed this 2 weeks. Wow. So
that's okay. Okay. Additionally, I was through the whole process, I was actually guided to do my rituals in different places, because usually I do them in this temple, in my home, in my room. But this time, again, because it was air, I think, again, the energy kind of set me in different places. So I've done it in a like near when I had my vehicle fixed. Again, the second day of it, I had my vehicle fixed and stuff like that. And also air, moving around. And so I've been doing a little ritual outside while waiting. I've done it twice in the forest. I've done it twice in the tattoo place when they've been doing my wings. When at the very beginning, also when I started the element, I was like in the ceremony. So I stayed like in a camping place. So when I woke up, that was the first place I did it, in the air, which is great. So here is what I managed to manifest throughout this period, which was practically 2 weeks. And the stuff's still unfolding, by the way, so it's not fully. So I got motivation to write a lot of the lessons from one of the books I've been like studying about law of attraction and stuff like that. So I came back to the basics, and I started from the very beginning, when I rewrote like half of the book basically in like a day. I got, as you mentioned, I got wings. I got like kind of like angel wings. I blame the Red Bull company. I shouldn't have been drinking so much of it, so I kind of have like 4 Red Bulls. The next thing I know is just I've got, not sure if I can show it or not.
I guess it's up to you, but his picture's on his Facebook, so anyone wants to check out his back.
Exactly. But I've also been blessing those wings as well with the energy of archangels, because I've actually asked archangels to bless them, and I really felt because the tattoo it's one thing, but like another thing that each of us has potential to be able to grow our own like etheric wings, which is like they're like spiritual, like part of our aura, I guess.
Yeah, so I've seen wings too, like on like non-physically. So I guess I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Which I've been told for again a few times already that I already have my etheric wings. So I was like, well, might as well just get a tattoo. So when I did, I've been blessing them, and I really felt the energy of them, which is quite interesting. Great. I've been blessing my Hermes shoes, as I mentioned earlier, to guide me and allow me to travel between the worlds, and same for the wings as well. As I said, I managed to service my vehicle on like the day 2 because it needed change of the oil and stuff like that. And then like a couple of days later, I was traveling to see my friends, and halfway through the journey, I realized that there's something wrong with my wheel. I realized it's wobbly. So I stood and I realized there's no air in it. And I'm like,
where'd the air go?
Yeah, literally. I've been invoking it so
Give
much.
me back my air.
Yeah, where is it? Right. And I realized that the what's it called? That thing inside the wheel, that where the air is basically was coming out of like here. So if this is the wheel, right, and this is the thing where you put the air in. So that's it had
the air hole. I don't know.
Yeah, the air hole. There you go. The air hole. The air hole was out. Like it was just that's where the air was coming out, which is funny because when I realized that I've got no air, I realized I'm literally next to the petrol station. Again, no coincidences. And I was like, what the actual, like why? What is going on? Like, okay. So because of that, I was like, okay, what's the silver lining here? What is, because I know nothing happens for a reason, especially like that. Like nothing happens for a reason. There must be a positive thing. And,
especially not to you too, because you pay attention to it. So it's like
exactly. So I was like, what's the silver lining? What's the thing going on there? And I was like, I'm just going to focus on the positive. I was going to meet my friends, and I didn't actually, on the way there, I didn't see any like registrations to tell me I'm in the right place at the right time or any synchronicities, nothing, which is very unusual for me because I see them everywhere. I go for a 3-minute walk, and I see 3 registrations with specific like number patterns, which I know what it is. And I'm like, okay, cool. But like, again, it was like over half an hour journey and I saw nothing. And I was like, okay, that's weird. And then once I was going back, I saw loads. So I'm like, okay, then. So I was never supposed to go there in the first place. All right, then I see. And then, so instead of that, I actually went into the forest. I was like, you know what? I'm not meeting my friends. I'll do something even better. And I went on my own into the forest, and I had a little, let's just say, meditation, strong meditation, where it helped me to gain a lot of clarity about my situation of where I actually am in life. It gave me knowledge about where I'm heading as well. Like I saw like a big picture of things, which later on I realized that was my manifestation, with like traveling between the worlds and being able to again fly and see the big thing. Like I got the bird's eye view. Which again makes sense.
With all the feathers of yours, yeah.
Yeah, I had like, again, bird's eye view over the life and aspects of my life as well. And that was the day I opened space for my friend Nephthys. Again, I mentioned Nephthys, one of the Egyptian goddesses. And I realized that the place I've chosen, like I've got a staff which fitted perfectly in the tree that I have chose. It was just like it was made for it. It's like just to like to charge it or something, and it was like slightly in the air, and that's where I keep my staff anyway, slightly in the air. So it just fitted perfectly in. So I had that with like some Egyptian stuff, anyways. And my spirit guides told me, because I was going to fix my bike the same day, but my spirit guides told me like not to. And I'm like, why? I'm like, just trust the process, like you'll find out. And I got guided to take to a specific garage when they managed to fix it for free. I didn't even have to pay for anything. And I didn't even waste any time at all, because I left it on the way to work and I picked it up from work and I didn't even pay for it. So I'm like, okay. So that's what I mean. I was never meant to go there, but I had that experience.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, just pointing that out. Next day, I had a tarot reading as well, an energy reading from this one particular guy, which brought even more clarity and like specific time frames on when things are going to happen, which is like, I found it really cool. Which brought me even more as a clarity. And it made sense as well. So that was amazing. Next, I realized that my I had a problem with my niceness. I was being too nice, basically, and that was throwing someone off, basically, who I, who I had a crush on, basically, and through some heavy negotiations, I managed to buy myself a course, a part of the course, which I needed for a fraction of the price that I would normally pay for. And and I also had like a VIP treatment with it. So I got it for like $200. Yeah, it was, and it was exactly what I needed. But like normally the course costed like $3,000. Yeah, I got it for 200. Mm-hmm. So 200. And I think, sorry,
200.
200, yeah, for the course. And then it was exactly what I needed at the time, because it really, again, and I managed to connect with it like that. And I actually connected with it even more during that experience when I was flying away. I realized how important it is, because it taught me about present moments, which you kind of mentioned as well. And then having that space and being in that space of yourself, and kind of allowing yourself to be as you are. I also started working with like Kundalini chakra activation, which changed some energies within me and made me shake like crazy. And it still does sometimes when I do some breathing exercises. I've noticed that my bum is like to this day. I've only done that on one chakra so far. I've got like 6 more to go. And the energy told me I need to do those by a certain date. I've got like a month to do them all, so I've got time. Then one of the students pointed me to a place where they gave me a bunch of free courses, like how to shape myself in like 15 minutes per day, as well as some really cool meditation program. Yeah, I felt like the Kundalini and yoga like are a beautiful combination of both. But I'll show you them very quickly. Yeah. I managed to attract like 4 different, if you can see it, 4 different like books.
Oh, okay.
So something like that, again, for free, was lying outside of my workplace. And the whole like toolkit about like mind and body cards and like some CDs and stuff is great. I looked into it. It's fantastic. So I got that. What is it? One of the days, my students showed me like a new song, like with Hermes, which hit me hard. I also had like a coaching session for free regarding dieting as well. And because I realized I need to get into shape. I can't just, I need also like a food thing. And then I was guided into a shop where there was like a dagger basically waiting for me. And the guy sold it to me for like £20, which is like super cheap. And that same night I blessed it, and I was guided to, and I asked like, let me guide me in the best way. So it used in the best possible way. So I opened the portal. Within the portal, through which I was asked to go in, which I never do. I never usually go through portals, because I was thinking, why do I never go through portals? It's like, I just open them. I never go through them. So it's like,
You open them for other people, like a butler, though.
Yeah, literally, yeah. But I never went through it, but I did this time. And as soon as I did, I know what to do with it. And I put it on top of my staff, which also has wings as well.
It looks very impressive.
yeah, it's like fits perfectly, and it's also to do with like one of my past lives and stuff like that. And as you know, Olga, you know what I'm talking about. So
everything's developing like a story. Yeah, very perfectly.
Definitely. So these are the things I've managed to attract well, until I believe Sunday, because Sunday was the last day. Although today there's been a lot happening, a lot of movement in terms of knowledge and stuff like that. And I've really moved with my business. But let me just tell you what I learned from the air element in general. Through the exploration, I experienced that air is about transportation. As well as messages and like sending a message, like Hermes, God's messenger. Also, I realized that my wings and the chakra is like this is like Hermes' staff, And when I realized, I was like, shit.
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't know that. So I was like, I had that realization, started researching it. I was like, whoa, that's so cool. So yeah, I've been working very heavily with him. So it's transport, messages, disassociation as well. So like, again, seeing the bird's eye view, which means like not being in the experience, but also like being able to be out of the experience and being able to witness.
Like from air.
Yeah, from the air. Or like a fly from the fly perspective, like fly on the wall. Having drive for something, but then changing my mind as well. Often, it also means intellect, like having the intellect, knowledge, thinking, writing, learning new, or relearning the old skills. It means movement and speed, as well as seeing bird's eye view of the situation. That is what I learned about the air element. I really enjoyed my time with the air, as it is one of my favorite ones, as it comes naturally to me because of my strength, which is Aquarius, and I'm naturally drawn towards air and intellect, and also I have my own wings now. So yay! And I will see you guys on the next thing, which is fire, isn't it? Fire! Wow.
Thank you so much, Dariusz, and thank you guys
Olga,
for watching.
For having me.
See you later, alligator.
Bye.
Bye bye.